right, here we go. Agenda item 16 is consideration of adoption of bill number 477 as ordinance number 477, an ordinance amending Title II of the Mesquite Municipal Code entitled Business Licenses Regulations by amending Section 2-1-3 License and Fee Required, by amending Section 2-1-4 Application for License Issuance, by amending Section 2-1-5 Payment of License Fees, by amending Section 2-1-7 Transfer of Ownership Fee, by amending Section 2-1-8 Compliance with Zoning Regulations, by amending Section 2-1-9 Conducting Business at Location Other Than Licensed, by amending Section 2-1-11 Semi-Annual Gross Sales Guide for New Businesses, by amending Section 2-1-12 Gross Sales Schedule of Fees, by amending Section 2-1-13 Specific Fees and Regulations Enumerated, by amending Section 2-1-14 Policy and Procedure, Show Cause, License, Suspension, Limitation, Revocation, by amending Section 2-1-15 Penalty for Violation, by amending Chapter 5, Article A, Door-to-Door Solicitors, Peddlers, and Canvassers, by amending Chapter 5, Article B, Pawnbrokers, by amending Chapter 5, Article C, Second-Hand Dealers, by amending Chapter 5, Article D, Mobile Food Vendors, by amending Chapter 6, Massage Establishments and Independent Massage Therapists, by amending Chapter 8, Festivals and Concerts, by amending Chapter 12, Special Events and other matters properly related thereto. Mr. Seacrest, or are you going to have Ms. Woolsey come up?
I'm going to have Laura come up and do the honors. She's the expert here.
City Council members and Mayor, Laura Woolsey, Business License Specialist. The background on this is the City Council directed staff to engage in a comprehensive review of the business license statutes with the intent to clarify, simplify, and streamline the business license process. A comprehensive review of the business license ordinance Title II by staff has determined that such regulations are in need of revision, restructuring, and modernizing in order to clarify, simplify, and streamline the business license process in order to meet the needs of the city, its residents, and the business community. And as a result, staff is proposing the following amendments to the City of Mesquite Business License Code Title II. The first amendment is in the language. It would read the business license official instead of the city manager as applicable in the code. Section 2-1-3C, license and fee required, requires any person engaged in business within the city to voluntarily apply for and maintain in full force and effect a valid business license. That agents and representatives of non-residents who do business in the city are also held responsible for the principles to obtain a business license. Any license obtained by deceit, fraud, or misrepresentation or other crime is null and void. Section 2-1-4, application for license issuance, grants the business license official the right to adopt forms and prescribe information relevant to the license. It also requires the applicant to provide the business mailing address, telephone number, email address, owner's name, owner's residential address, and telephone number. Section 2-1-12, gross sales schedule of fees. Similar business types are combined to the same line item to eliminate duplication. Section 2-1-13, specific fees regulations enumerated, proposes to repeal the requirement of the federal and state background check for the esthetician business licenses, and it permits a business license official to issue the license, so it required City Council approval. It also reduces the esthetician's license fee from $100 to $70. This is consistent to similar types of businesses that we have, like the beauty salons and the nail technicians, so it'd be $70. On the continued amendments in Section 2-1-13, specific fees and regulations enumerated, we're proposing the fees be amended on personal salon and barber shops type of businesses to $100 annually, and it currently is at $70 plus an additional $35 per chair for every chair that the person rents out to the esthetician or the salon or the nail technician. So that would be $100 from $70 to $35 per chair annually. Then it also amends the language to clarify the fees for independent cosmetologists, electrologists, hairdressers, manicurists, and barbers. That clarification, we just need to be consistent. It amends the language to repeal the one-time fee in the amount of $150 for each new business with a local office in Mesquite. It adds a licensed type of mortgage agent and fee in the amount of $150. And what the mortgage agent definition we're using is what's in the state statute, which most of the mortgage agents are familiar with. We're itemizing the business license fee on the same line for the hyperdrome, menageries, the merry-go-rounds, the music machines, pool rooms, just for better clarification, so they're on the same line. We're also asking that the language be amended to allow the business license official to approve or deny the business licenses for astrologers, auctioneers, locksmiths, and safe mechanics, science practitioners, swap meets, mobile catering units, door-to-door solicitors, peddlers, second-hand dealers, pawnbrokers, massage establishments, independent massage therapists, and outdoor festivals. The proposed amendments also includes language that provides the applicant a due process if the staff denies the license. Section 2-12-1, special events, we're requesting the language be amended. It would require the applicant for a special event to provide insurance listing the city of Mesquite as an additional insured, its agents and employees, and it also provides language and direction as to the items required to obtain a permit. The revised provisions establish objective standards for staff to clarify, simplify, and streamline the business license process.
I'll open this up for public hearing too.
Yes, yes, we'd like to open this up for public hearing.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and open public hearing then on agenda item 16. Those wishing to make public comment, please step forward, state your name. We do have a 3-minute limit.
Honorable Mayor and City Council members, please stop and Mesquite Regional Business. I want to look closer. Gay Stockman, Mesquite Regional Business. Also wanted to restate again that we really support and encourage this type of action. We think Laura's done a great job. Anytime that we can streamline the city's municipal code to help businesses to become active and to help existing businesses grow, we strongly encourage that. And thank you very much.
Shively Mesquite. Just a couple of suggestions to go with all the hard work that has been put into this. A lot of times in the past, due to all the confusion with business licenses and everything else, people have kind of got a bad attitude about anything to do with this. And so one of my suggestions would be that certainly the staff put on a smile to go with all the hard work, and to do some kind of program out to the customers, the business owners, and chair rental people to get a smile on their face too. Because I think if they can just come together with a positive attitude, they can see how beneficial this will be. And the other thing, in the retail business, sometimes you need a kind of a flip chart that instead of all the words and the rules and the regulations, which took up over half a page, just draw a bunch of squares as the shop and the chair and this thing and that thing and the cosmetologist and everything. And a lot of times just by flipping to something that's very similar to the person that is applying for the license, it can make it much easier for them to visualize what you've done and all the hard work that went into it, have a more of a win-win situation. Just a suggestion. Let's see it work.
Any further public comment? All right, not seeing anything, we'll close the public hearing at this time. Questions from council? Councilman Rapson was up first, I think.
First of all, I want to thank Ms. Woolsey and staff for their great effort. This is a good job, long overdue, and I really appreciate the work that went into it and the effort. I'd just like to clarify a business license for astrologer. Would that include palm readers, soothsayers, and card readers? Thank you.
Question, Councilman Withhelder.
Thank you, Your Honor. George, you can read my palm later. Thank you, Laura, again. You and staff did a wonderful job. I've got two questions. One on 2-1-14, the policy and procedure, show cause, license suspension, limitation, revocation. Is that going to be a license department decision, or is that going to come to council, or how would those infractions be handled?
Okay, first of all, we always send a warning notice to the business that they're in violation of any ordinance, and they have 3 notices that they'll receive. The 4th notice goes before City Council for revocation, and that's generally, that's consistent with all cities, or not some cities. I mean, if there's a problem license out there, they generally will just take it before City Council and ask for the revocation of the license because of the due process. But it will always go before City Council if a license is to be revoked. That's not something that I would do.
Okay, and I guess the same would apply on 2-1-15, the penalty for violation. That would be handled in the same manner with warnings from your department, and then after failure to respond or whatever, and it would come to council for a decision?
Yes, and currently that is in the ordinance. That statute is only changing the city manager's language on there for the business licensing. The current statute has that language in there that the City Council has the right to revoke or deny that license. If they do receive a warning, then it would again come back to City Council. It's not something that staff would do.
Thank you.
Councilman, any further questions from council? Councilman Hafen?
I too would just like to thank Ms. Woolsey for her work in refining this to allow us to become more business friendly. We have heard, as we heard some public comment, we have received many thanks for the work that Laura does when they come in to receive a business license, go through the application process. She's very helpful, respectful, courteous, and all the above, so we appreciate that. I do have a question for the mayor for clarity for the record. If you could go back up to section 2.1-3 and reread that to the end, I think that'd be good for the record.
I'll defer to the mayor pro tem since he was laughing out loud.
And if there's no more comments on the motion.
Councilman Littman, do you have a question? Or?
No, just a comment. I happen to be in the business licensing office today, and a gentleman came in to pay his fees, which are never fun, I'm sure. And I asked him, and I know him vaguely, but not by name, how he's treated in the business office. And his comment to me was, it couldn't be any better than what it is. It's perfect, for the record.
Any further comments or questions? Councilman Hayes, do you have a comment?
We make a motion. I'd like to read the whole thing if possible when I make that motion.
Before you make your motion, I just wanted to thank Ms. Woolsey and your department. You've worked really hard at this. It's been a long time coming. We've spent, I don't know, we've been around, most of the council's been up here for about 2.5 years, and you've been working on this ever since we walked in the door. Because part of our vision was to simplify business licensing and to bring this type of stuff up here and get it all solved. Now, obviously, this isn't a cure-all. We're going to have more issues that come up, but it certainly is a gigantic leap forward from what we've had to deal with in the past. And I really appreciate all your efforts here into helping make this vision become a reality for the city of Mesquite and the businesses here. Councilman Hafen.
Mayor, I move for adoption of bill number 477 as ordinance number 477.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call for the vote. That motion carries. Thank